Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I am Anchorhaven, and this is the Mystical Wellness channel. So thank you so much for joining me on these early AM lives. We get together most weekdays to connect, to witness each other's journey, to do a mental health check-in, to talk about things that are weird and wonderful. So we do get into the secret space program over here, the unacknowledged special access programs, time travel, stargates, cloning. We get into mind control and all manner of weird shit over here. We did have a fantastic guest yesterday. USA versus Oz. You're first one in the chat. Good morning. You guys do need to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes if you'd like to join us in the chat. Being in the chat is a privilege. It's not a right. So not everybody gets the opportunity. It's Brinja. If I haven't told you this account. Oh, Brinja the Valkyrie. Good morning. How are you? You've still got your mod wrench on that account. Wizard Wickers, good morning. Great to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming in. So it's 5:33 a.m. here in the United Kingdom. I'm Anchorhaven. This is the Mystical Wellness channel. And on our topic of the day is we did that live Q&A with John Whitberg. So we were talking about Secret Space Program today. So how did everybody find that video? Have you watched it? Are you caught up? How did it go? So John and I did that live show. It was 2 hours and 42 minutes. That is by far the longest show I've ever done with John Whitberg, I think. And so shout out to @the John Whitberg. Thank you so much for doing that video with us over here. It's been 4 months since we actually did a video together, because there's been lots of things going on behind the scenes. And John Whitberg is the collaborator for the Breakaway Oracle. So it's his energy and information and my energy and information that have gone into that. Even with the designs, I created the designs and we worked on it together. Total collaboration. It was awesome. So so thank you so much for John for doing that video with us last night. Please go check that out on my live tab, and I'll be uploading the side-by-side view, the double header. I'll be uploading that a little bit later today, which will also go onto other platforms as well once I get my shit together. I'm so behind on my podcasting admin. I really am. I've not updated my audio podcast for a while. You can find me on on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. Oh, Bryn just found a safe place to live. That's great. Okay, good to hear that. Wizard Wick is saying we are pod buddies. Yeah, we are. We're pod buddies. Yeah. So me and the Wizard Wickers, 2 peas in a pod. Why is everyone's name in white? They're not. Their names are in blue, Jason. All I see is mods right now with blue names. So I don't know what is going on with YouTube, because yesterday I was on my laptop on the live stream, and I could see my name was highlighted in yellow because it's my channel, so my name's in yellow, and Jason could see my name was in white, and he sent me a screenshot. So YouTube are messing with us. Good morning, Kat in the chat. I'll have to rewatch. Was running errands. What I caught was great. Yeah, YouTube has changed again to Silcola. Everybody in the chat is all moderators right now, and they're all in blue to me. Yeah, so we did start the live stream 2 hours earlier than what was forecasted, because John basically said we need to do it now, because you know, his timing is never 100% certain, because he does not have control over his schedule because of his environment. Okay, so Kat is seeing names in white as well. Yeah, I don't see that. I see blue, yeah. And instead of a shield, I see a box. It looks like a box to me. So I don't see wrenches anymore. Good morning, Dan Guest. Good morning. Yep, so we did the live stream with John Whitberg. So that's what we're talking about this morning. How did everybody find that? That was the longest video I've ever done with John. It really is. So thank you so much to John for doing that. You see his camera's like shaking towards the end, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, dude. It's like, but he's fine. He is good. I've spoken to him since then. He's all right. Wizard Ricky says, as things get more settled and I'm done with the old house, I would love to have a conversation with John. Seriously, just send him a message on Facebook Messenger. He is available all the time. He will respond to your messages when he can. And please remember, guys, he works on donations. Yeah, he is donation based. So if you like his work, if his work has supported you in any way, if you've read his books or you've watched some of his videos, just send him a donation. You know, he'd be really happy to receive that. His situation is very unstable, and at some point he will need to make a move. And when he does, he's going to need to reestablish himself in a new environment and everything. So yeah, any help you can send to John, that is greatly appreciated. He's such a lovely person. He's very respectful. He's very supportive of my work on my channel and things like that. So please do support him if you can. That's paypal.me/John Whitberg. And you can email him at kyledelshow@gmail.com. So in his books, there's a different email. He's not using that email anymore. So in his books, it's got the old email in there inside, but please just send it to the Gmail. So his books are on Amazon, but I don't believe he actually gets much like financial support from the books. So yeah, so he, so you can just download it free. If you want to get a piece of John Whitberg history, then of course do buy the book on Amazon. That's really cool. So there's 4 books available in the saga. So prepare to be thrust into the shadows of history with fire and rain. Book 1, the electrifying first volume of John Whitberg's 5-fold saga. Now, he said last night it's now a 6-fold saga. Ooh, in a world where post-World War II power players conspire with alien forces to shape the future, Cal Del Show is caught in the ruthless clutches of Project Ibis. Ooh. So yeah, so you can listen to the audiobook. So I highly recommend the audiobooks because you can speed them up as well. Just have it playing, I got a lot out of it. Danny sent a star. Thank you so much, Danny. So let's see, had to shoot off early. Our Iris duties are baby Iris, our little baby Iris. So Brinja's saying, I've been doing a few readings today and it's taken a bit out of me. Yeah, grounding please. I've been in the hospital for 3 days too. Oh, Brinja, yeah, put yourself first, dear. Don't be doing readings for others if you're not well. Dangus says, I spoke to him face to face a few times. And by that you mean FaceTime, right? He's a brilliant guy, John Whitberg. I consider him as a friend, and I don't use that word lightly. Yes, John Whitberg is one of my best friends. I'm not going to lie. He really is one of my best friends. And he supported me a lot in the last year because I've been going through so much so rapidly with my SSP stuff. It's come in like a wrecking ball force. A force has come in so fast. You've seen me upgrade over the year, and so much information has come in. And if I didn't have John, I really don't know what the last year would have looked like for me, because he's literally held my hand through some things. Like he's been on the phone with me saying breathe and stuff like that. So he's a really good friend, and I love him to bits. I really do love him to bits. I do. The audiobooks are incredible. I'm also buying the books, says Dan Guest. I will be reading them to my kids. I love that you do that. I love that your kids are open to hearing about this stuff, because my son is in the other room and I just don't know how to talk to him about this stuff. And I know it applies to him as well. I just don't know how to talk to him about it. But when I was creating the card deck, and I've got the first sample come in, I did show him. And he's like, and straight away he's like, well, you can't use that picture because that's Master Chief. That looks exactly like Master Chief. You're going to get copyright. And I was like, no, I've designed it so, Master Chief is based on the suits that we wear in the Breakaway. So I've made sure that my design is based on the suit, but it's not the same as Master Chief. And he's like, nope, that's Master Chief straight away. So then I had to redesign the suit. So I listened to what my son said, because he is literally the future super soldier. And I redesigned the suit, so I changed the color of the suit. So when I get my cards out, my soldier card looks different to your soldier card, because you've got the black suit with the blue visor. Because I literally redesigned it to make it more unique in a way, but still close to what we have off planet. So yeah, audiobooks are great. How do you make the white hearts, Danny? Yeah, I've been wondering that too. She's been doing that a lot. Oh, we've got the roses there. Roses for Montauk, yeah. So John doesn't really talk much about Montauk anymore. If you want to learn about Project Phoenix, he's got plenty of other videos you can go to. You can check his channel at the John Whitberg, where he's done quite a few there about Montauk, or you can go to St. Olga 69, which is Daniel Sala's channel. And Daniel is his editor who helps him with the books, because it says in the front of the book that it's Dan. Yeah, edited and book designed by Daniel Sala. So they so he helps him with that publishing. So baby Iris is waking up. Dan's listening. We've got to do the nappies and feed. Oh, that's so lovely. Okay, so if you guys have not watched the video, John Whitberg was on the channel for the first time in 4 months. Oh, and it was a good one. So we've all had our John fix now for a while. So no, hopefully he'll be back on a regular basis, because we started a few things at the start of the year, and then we got so much drama and everything come in that we both just went off on other projects, and we just came back together to work on the Breakaway Oracle behind the scenes. And so he's been, you know, working on things, I'm working on things. But the Sacred Site series hopefully will get kickstarted again soon. And I want to have a look into some things that are off planet as well. Dan Guess is saying, I've had some incredible info from Daniel Sala too. I'll send it to you later. Okay, yeah. I've never connected with Dan privately, so I don't know. But I'd love to interview him actually, because he's such a good host. I like to interview other hosts, because it's like you never really get to see them do interviews or find out why did they connect with that guest, or how did they interpret that information or whatever. So I do like to interview other hosts as well. Yeah, today I've got a great guest coming on. I've got Bob Osborne coming on today. Bob Osborne is a bit of a legend, and he is going to be on the channel today. So I'm going to put a post out with his bio so you guys can see what's the deal basically. But this is his book, Be Lucky. So I'm going to be reading through his book today, making some notes and things like that. And yeah, so Bob Osborne is from Rebel Not Taken, so he's going to be on tonight. Tomorrow, Thursday, I do have Missy Hill joining us. Then Friday, I head to the Kerry Cassidy conference, Project Camelot, UFO Academy conference called Awake and Aware. So okay, message him. He's really, really approachable. What, Daniel Sala? I don't know. Yeah, I don't always reach out to people immediately, because I'm just like, oh, yeah, maybe I will. Yeah, so we were talking about Matt Tracy last night on the live, where John always says, I'm not an engineer, you need to talk to Matt Tracy. So I did reach out to Matt Tracy a couple of months ago, because I remember him. I remember him from Cheyenne Mountain. I remember his altar, George. And I watched him on a video with Penny Bradley like earlier in the year or last year. And I remember looking at him thinking, my mind went, that's George. And then like a minute later he says, on my altar, I've got an altar called George. And I was like, I knew it was you. And so I reached out to him, but he and I speak very different languages. So he is going to come on the channel. He's definitely open to coming on, but hopefully he'll come on with John Whitberg, and that'll be good, because me and Matt Tracy are like, I don't think we speak the same language, to be honest. Haven Time says, Rainbow Flame Wizard, good morning. So we're talking about the John Whitberg interview that we did a few hours back. For me, it was yesterday. Hey, Missy Hill's coming on the show on Thursday. Entertainment Extreme Network, Armando, how are you? Good to see you guys. So yeah, we got a major fix of the Secret Space Program, Unacknowledged Special Access Programs, Breakaway Colonies and Planets, technologies. We asked John Whitberg some of the most random questions ever, which is what I love about my channel. John was cool. First time I saw him, oh, okay, well, you've been missing a trick then, yeah. So I've got a playlist on my channel for John Whitberg, so do go check out the playlist, because there's interviews from all over other channels on there. So some of his best stuff is on St. Olga 69. So he's been doing videos with Daniel Sala for 3 or 4 years. And they've got some great interviews together, because Daniel over there is just, he must be like the ultimate John Whitberg fan. Because he'll literally say, oh, actually, you talked about this on this other video. And he's got such amazing knowledge as a host, which is so good. Yeah. I love John's sense of sarcasm, says Danny. Yeah, you know what? He's so much funnier in person as well. He's quite serious on videos and he does talk quite slow. But behind the scenes, he's just fucking hilarious. He just cracks me up so much. We just laugh all the time when we're working on stuff together. We're just constantly laughing. Bringer's off for a nap. You take care of yourself, Bringer. I hope you get everything stable and settled soon. Yeah, lots of love. Okay. Can I have a reading? I need to know, who is my spirit guide watching me? Is it a woman or a man? I don't usually have that level of information. I can ask the pendulum if it's a man or a woman. Hold on. But what do you feel like when you connect into your spirit guide? Are you calling them a spirit guy? Is it not a guide? It's just some guy. I guess some spirit guy. He's my guy. Okay. Okay, so we're just I'm just warming up my vocals, guys. I've actually been awake since 4 a.m. Oh, thank you so much. So yeah, guys, I do work on donations and I am heading to a conference this weekend. So if you could support me in any way, it's paypal.me/Anchorhaven. For me to get to these conferences, it costs a lot of money. You're talking £500 just to go down there for the weekend. It's a lot of money. I'm going to be trading over the weekend, so hopefully I'll be able to sell some of my wares. But it's a lot of money. Just train, buses, taxis, hotel, food while you're out there, you know. Sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me. Jason, stop it. Okay, entertainment. I feel somebody watching me. Okay. So we're tuning into Entertainment Extreme Network. We've got the pendulum here. This is Asclepius. This is a specially designed pendulum from alchemy.com. There's lots of different ones over there. This is a brass healing and Akashic record reading pendulum, so which drops into your timeline. Are we connected to Entertainment Extreme Network? Thank you. Does he have a spirit guide connecting with him right now? Is the spirit guide male? Is the spirit guide female? Okay, you do have a female spirit guide available. Is this his higher self? Okay, is this spirit guide angelic? It is an angel. It's a female angel, an archaea. Are they coming in for healing? Yeah, they're actually coming in to bring in some healing for you. So don't worry too much. And I did get a flush down the left side body. So you need to take some time to rest. Entertainment Extreme Network. You got guys coming in for healing. Is there somebody else watching him? I'm getting a yes, but it's a very slight. So you're just in somebody's awareness. Okay, is this somebody at work who's watching him? Potentially somebody that you see around you every day. Not every day. Is it an ex-partner? So there's very little information available for me in this route. So it could be somebody that's just thinking of you that you've connected with in the past, or it could be somebody that you see on a regular basis, but you want to focus on the guide that's with you right now for healing. So there is a female guide, a female angel is there. So just ask them to, if you're open to healing, then you can let them know, you know, I'm open for this healing. Please, can you step forward so I know what that feels like? Take a step back so that I know what your presence feels like. And if it's an angel for healing, ask them to wrap their wings around you, yeah, to do the healing. Okay. It feels like a starseed. Your phone is watching you, says Danny. That's true. The phone is a Black Mirror device that's watching us and abducting us. Reachable about any hour. Jason is reachable at any hour. Oh my god. Sometimes she's like, Jason, where are you? Are you there? And he's like, I'm here. So Jason is literally reachable 24/7. So like, because I am how many hours ahead of you? I'm like 6 hours ahead of you, and you're always available when I need you. Okay, so Cola says, my father would put tape on the computer camera. I do that too, yeah. So that's so the FBI can't watch you, says Jason. Thanks for letting me read that out. Yeah, we would put the tape off as kids and he would keep retaping it. Yeah, you knew you were right about the woman. Okay, good. Oh, Missy Hill is interviewing Miles Johnston tomorrow from Basis TV, Basis Project. That should be really cool, Missy. Yeah, we love that thumbnail. You are absolutely killing it with your thumbnails right now. They are so freaking hilarious. They are so good. You like, some people have just got a talent for that kind of thing, and you've got it for sure. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Entertainment Extreme Network. No problem. Yeah, so Missy Hill interviewing Miles Johnston. Now, Miles has got this thing in his head right now where he wants to call me Laura, right? He's called me Laura on 2 separate podcasts, and then he's like, why do I keep calling her Laura? Yeah, so he keeps trying to credit me for the graphic design on the mugs, and he keeps calling Laura instead, so I don't know what's going on there. Miles and I do speak most days, and we're preparing for the November conference. So the Bases 2026 autumn autumn conference. Missy says, I'm interviewing Dr. Amir on Friday. That should be interesting. So the Wizard of Wivenhoe, Dr. Amir Jahangiri, that's so cool. He was at Bases recently, and his talk was on Norse runes, bind runes, that kind of thing. Missy has the best thumbnails. She really does. It's so funny. Like, it's just all her kind of loving, fun energy goes into the thumbnails. Yeah, that's so cool. Did anybody see the new graphic I made for John McBurg yesterday? I'm quite proud of that one. I think it looks quite good because he is notoriously hard to get a good photo of. Right, and I like, literally for publicity in the last 6 months, I've said to him, could we get some better photos, please? And he's like, I like the bad photos because it just deters the people who like are not meant for him. You know what I mean? So I managed to take a screenshot from a video that we'd done together, from the Sacred Sites video, and then I put that into my Chat GPT, and that's how I got that one. So I think it's a really good, yeah, dynamic, regal looking picture. He's just like, look at, he's just not look at me, but he's like, like, I'm here, I am the authority. Yeah, it's a good picture. Yeah. So honestly, it just occurred to me yesterday, I really need something better. I think we need something better by now, because he is a subject matter expert. He is an authority on those topics. He has amazing recall. Like, nobody can match that level of recall. I've not met anybody who can match that level of recall with that much detail. Nuskin has a lot, but Nuskin is quite difficult to interview sometimes. So Nuskin is good at the Q&A. Yeah, so I think when I introduced the live Q&A a few months back, that's probably the best thing I could do, because then it gives you guys the opportunity to ask as many random questions as you like, and then it's easier for the super soldiers to bring forward the recall. Yeah, CC33, Christy Campbell's got good recall as well. She's really developed in the last 6 months. Have you noticed how her work has changed once she opened up to that energetic Reiki scan? Christy really stepped into her authority, I think, with that one, and she really helped me because I just had, I think I was one of the very first energetic Reiki scans this year. CC33 is Christy Campbell. Yeah. So she did that energetic Reiki scan for me, and she sent me back a 25-page report, and I did get a discount on the service because I was literally like, like, how much is this? Is this the usual price? And she's like, no, but but since it's you and you do a lot of publicity, let's do it together at that rate, and then do a video about it, and do it quite public. So we did, and I love promoting people. That's one of the things I do. I am a publicist. I used to work as a publicist in India as well. I used to promote actors mainly. And my brother-in-law is an actor, so very often I step into that role for him as well. So yeah, so Christy Campbell connected into me, and her energetic Reiki scan is so worth the money, guys. It really is, because she takes like 3 days to connect into your energy, and she connects in, she sends you healing, and then when she's in that healing process with her Karuna Reiki, she's connecting in with your body elemental. She connected into one of my altars, and an altar had recently been activated because I'd heard Swerdlow's voice, and it literally unlocked a section of my mind, and Kit Kat stepped forward. And I didn't really know she was there, but I knew what had happened was that I just crumbled into pieces. And at the same time, Christy was doing this energetic Reiki scan. So she highlighted and isolated that Kit Kat personality had come forward. Christy found her and started to talk to her and heal her and love her, basically. So Christy really helped me so much. So I'll always advocate for Christy Campbell. Because she not only did she identify that I had an altar that was super vulnerable, that had just been unlocked, she communicated with the altar, who was only 7 years old. She found out her identity, her location, what had happened to her, and it totally correlated with an experience I already knew. So bam, it was like that. So Christy Campbell is fucking amazing. She really is. And we did a video together about it to break down what we'd experienced, and we were so emotional, and we both received high-level targeting right before that video. I had a black helicopter fly over my apartment, shine its lights into my kitchen window, into my face, right? And then she had an interference as well, and before we started to hit the go live record button, we both just burst into tears. It was like that. We were really heightened. So when Christy Campbell and I get together, it heightens both of our senses. So sometimes you'll see us do kind of like memory expansion videos. So do check my playlist, Anchorhaven Origins. There's quite a few things I've done with Christy Campbell. She's got very affordable services, but that energetic Reiki scan, that's the real deal. You're going to want to get into that, because she created a 25-page report for me with loads of advisories, images, just so much information. But it's different for everybody. But she created some fantastic images about me, different versions of me that she had seen, about my Celtic lineage, my Tuatha De Danann lineages and stuff. It was just amazing. Yeah, so shout out to Christy Campbell, CC33. Okay, let me just catch up on the chat. Sorry, guys. Just went off on a tangent there about Christy. But she's so good. Rob is having Christy on with Rocco next week. Yeah, how did that go with Rocco? I did see that the video is only 50 minutes. I'm not going to watch that video, because I just don't need uncertainty targeting coming into my life right now. So yeah, so Christy's gone through some developments this year. She really has leveled up a lot. Okay. I do need her books. Yeah, so I've got her Electra Mission Complete book. For me, that's the #1 resource. But they're not going anywhere. I'll get them when I can. Yeah, oh my god, she's got like 50 books or more. Oh yeah, Rocco's now called Dylan. Yeah. Christy's the first one I saw in my dreams from the chats. Oh, that's interesting. Rachel Cal, hello, beautiful beings. Just left Whimsical Wednesday, though for me it is Weird Wednesday. Up since 5 a.m. and trying to hold my from 11 a.m. Grace, so it was great to find positivity and reason. Yeah, Chloe Ariel, she's got beautiful videos on her channel. She's so lovely. We will get her back on here very soon. Just the Aussie time difference is quite tricky. Paul, can you just change your name and totally reinvent yourself? What do we think about that? You want me to do a poll on that, seriously? So is it okay to reinvent yourself by just changing your name and do new podcasts? What do you guys think? Is it acceptable to just change your name and reinvent yourself? Yes or no? So if I suddenly just change my name and started to say, no, don't call me Julia Anchorhaven anymore, I am whatever, is that okay? Yes, 80% saying yes, it's okay, but it depends on the circumstances, Jason. If a particular person has had a lot of bad press because they're maybe perhaps not the most stable person in the world, and then they decide, oh, it's okay now, sorry about all these mental health issues, right? And I'm not talking about anyone in particular, because there's a couple of people that pop into my mind right now. Yeah. Okay. So 71% say yes, it's fine to change your name and reinvent yourself. 29% say no. So 7 votes on that. Okay. And we've got 9 people in the chat. We've got 9 lurkers. No, 2 lurkers. Good morning, guys. Good morning. So let me catch up here. Okay. Bear in mind, we're talking about somebody that I've never met and I've got no intention of meeting. A loose cannon in the past. Okay. He didn't answer any questions directly either. This is missing time. Oh, positive to your way, Rachel. Bliss, bliss, bliss. Blessings from Mr. Rainbow Flame Wizard. Oh, damn. But I did ask if there were any questions. This is Cola. Rachel, might start doing 8s instead of X for kisses. Never sat well with me, the X for kisses, like an oxymoron. Yeah, like sovereign citizen. Yeah, so we can do little infinities. Rocco, damn, says Dangest. Is that fire starter? We've got plenty of fire starters going on in our community right now. This is called Project Oblivion. Okay, and if you go back to my disclosure diary, which is on my Anchorhaven Origins playlist, if you go back to episode 1, 2, 3, you see I am broken and busted from August last year. Project Oblivion was kicking my ass. It really was. Missy Hill says, I'm interviewing them too as pre-record on Christie's channel. Yeah, good luck with that. Lots of protections in place, girls, seriously. Dad says, sorry, Rocco is suffering and all, but I don't have much sympathy. I have my reasons. Yeah. Okay, guys. Rachel Carl says, yep, I'd be happy to set today on fire. Shit, let's do the bells. Okay, and I'm not talking shit about anybody. I don't know them. I just know there's a lot of wrecking balls in our community right now. I am not trying to be a wrecking ball. But some people have been wrecking balls well before Project Oblivion came in. Okay, guys, this is your reminder that my voice is activating. Get yourself a nice grounding stone. This is black tourmaline. I've got my garnet dragon here. So yeah, my voice is activating. My name is activating. If you do not want to bring the violet flame into your life for a full 360 cleanse, then don't say my name. Seriously, don't do it. I had to put a ward on my name earlier this year because people were literally saying my name in rooms where I am not. So my name will bring in a violet flame cleanse into your life via your higher self. So whether you want it or not, because it's coming in with love, blessings, perfect love, perfect trust, transformational energies, Anchorhaven, Anchorhaven, Anchorhaven. Yeah. It's going to bring in positive energy into your life. So, you know, people are giving free advertising. Great. Anchor the violet flame wherever you are using my name. It is spelled. Okay, bells, bells, bells. Did you hear all UFO NDAs got waived, including former contractors? Yes, that's huge UFO news. That's a great one, isn't it? Yeah, that's a great one. So people can start talking about things now without fear of backlash. Do you think it's going to have any effect? That dragon is cool. Yeah, this is my biggest dragon skull that I have. It's garnet. He has a name, but I can't speak his name. He has an activated dragon car, so he's got his own dragon personality. He is beautiful to the back. So I'm like, rah. So I call him my command dragon. So he's beautiful. Okay, fire from Montauk, says Wizard Wickus. Good morning, Raska. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Oh, you hear that? Did you hear his name? Did you hear the dragon speak? Yeah, we love dragons over here, guys. Missing Time says, I don't think any current contract will jeopardize job, but maybe some legacy stuff will come out. That's good. Yeah, it's time to let things come out because people just don't care anymore, to be honest. I don't think there's as much stigma attached to things, but I think the government are still going to be targeting certain people with certain information. I don't believe that, you know, it's okay to say whatever they want. I think that's just for show. This weekend, I'm going to be at the Wake and Aware conference. Kerry Cassidy, that's her event. So I should get to meet Kerry Cassidy this weekend. We will see. But I'm going to be meeting up with Slavka, the Natural Sentient, on Friday. We're sharing a hotel. So it's going to be great to catch up with Slavka. In my head, I call her Slav. I don't know why. I think it's funny. So going to try and sleep now. Oh, Missy Hill. Okay, I thought that was Jason for a second. I was going to say Jason doesn't sleep. Yeah. Okay. Good night, Missy. Good night. I do want to talk to you, not maybe in 24 hours time, about something in North Carolina that came into my awareness recently. Yes, I'll come back to you on that. Yes, thank you. So I'm going to have fun at the conference. I am going to be meeting up with some friends over there. So I've got Ben Emlyn Jones, who is a UFO researcher, Ben the Reporter. Do go check out his channel. And Ben he should have a playlist on my channel. We've done 2 videos together now. So he's going to be great. So he's attending, but he will be I think I'm going to have some of his books on my table to sell and things like that. So he's going to help me man my little stall. And Miles Johnston is going to be there. He's doing a talk. Maria Wheatley's doing a talk. Now Simon Parks is also on the docket, and I've not followed Simon Parks at all. So some things are just not in my awareness. So I need to do some research on that. And then there's a couple of other speakers who I'm not familiar with, so we're going to check that out. We are going to be exhibiting at High Elms Manor, which is a stately home. Ooh. So I'm going to do some videos of that place for you guys. Missing Time says, I think some old government suits are going to have deathbed confessions first. Ooh, yes. Yes, it's a really sketchy time to be alive right now. So it doesn't feel safe. That does not feel safe. The UFO stuff does not feel safe. I cannot wait for your views on Simon Parks, says Rachel Kyle. Well, I know he's a bit controversial. Some good, some not so good, perhaps. I don't know. So, but I'm going to get to meet him in person, hopefully. Rainbow Flame Wizard says, the government are doing a flapper-de-doodle job at explaining the people what the flapper-de-doodle is going on. What the flapper-de... Is this a new word for our vocabulary, or does that translate into Flemish? That's hilarious. What the flapper-de-doodle is going on here? Oh, that's so funny. I have no idea. You know, I've got this list of words for the breakaway deck, and the one I was just drawn to is destruction. That's what's going on here. There's a level of destruction. Collywobblers. Yeah. He's a mantis experiencer, says Missing Time 420 about Simon Parks. Sorry. Yeah, so we're going to see. Now, I do have mantis guides. I do connect in with mantis. Yeah, so a lot of what you're seeing around here, I think, are mantis consciousness. Yes, on the mantis, says Wizard Wickus. Okay, guys, I am a mantis flapper-de-doodle. What the flapper? I need to write that down. I don't have a pen. I've lost my pen, and I wish I had more pens. So please donate so I can buy more pens. Anyway, yeah, did anybody get surprised by the information in the John Whitberg interview? Did he say anything that was funny? Danny asking about titty bars in space, perhaps? Should we talk about that? So I'm like, guys, I'm trying to just read out whatever's in the chat, but sometimes I'm so like, shame. Do flapper-de-doodle. Okay, screen grabbed some beautiful mantids yesterday. Oh, interesting. So why is it whenever we're talking about space and the breakaway, we've got New Skin coming on with great info, we've got John coming on with great info, you guys just want to know about sex? What is that? So, you know, Orbidoodle, says Cat. Yeah, Orbity-doodah. Orby McOrbface, I think, was the name that Nathan Fox gave to the orbs in the room. If anybody can spot Orby McOrbface, I'll give you something. I don't know what. So it was a fair question about the titty bars in space. Is this because it just made me think about the Total Recall movie when she's got 3? Right, made me think about that. Matthew West said, John surprised me with the name Tiamat, which is what I called the mother. So still correct, mother's dragon. Yes, yeah, that's cool. Have you looked on Ascension Glossary, Matthew West? Have you had a look into that over there? AscensionGlossary.com by Lisa Renee. It's got a lot of good information to build off over there. John's diplomat skills are top notch. They really are. Yeah, so I can say absolutely anything to John, and he will not ridicule me in any way. He takes everything under advisement. He's very open to any of the weird shit that I talk about. He's very, very supportive like that. Because in the Breakaway, he was literally my professor, right? He was. So he taught me espionage. And it was funny is because at the start of the year, I was retraining in security skills and I was retraining in surveillance to get a high security license. And John said to me, it's so weird that you're going through this because we've literally did this together on the Breakaway. And I was like, yeah, this is really bizarre. Because it's like you've already got the skills, because they're literally in you. You've got to redo training to get the license. So funny. I don't even know that was a thing. Okay, ascensionglossary.com. That's by Lisa Renee from Energetic Synthesis. It's a great resource. Just use it like a Google and Google everything, right? Seriously. Google everything, and it's just a stepping off point. You can go much deeper into your own work that way, but it's a great resource. Here in Australia, we have a Voice of Freedom podcast. We're creating a group for new food, our native wildlife, eating new recipes. We called it the Fauna Caterers. Oh my god. That's really funny, Rachel. So Joshua Shapiro is coming over to that event in Tasmania in November, I think it is. There's some kind of spiritual fair or something like that over in Tasmania. And Joshua Shapiro, the Crystal Skull Explorer, is going over. Dan Guest says Tiamat is also the name of a seven-headed dragon from D&D, I think. Cool. Spiderbite says the seven-headed dragon is the depiction of the clouds preceding the monsoon, the lead the sky river. Look it up, okay? We have not been banned yet. The fornicators. That's so funny. I think people will find that funny. Yeah. Okay, so what else did everybody think was quite interesting on that John Whitberg interview yesterday? 2 hours and 42 minutes long. I apologise to John afterwards. I'm saying, I'm so sorry. I should have caretaken you better. And he's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It was fun. He had fun. So, yeah. I get carried away. So I did try and dial the energy down towards the end. Because we were just like, come on, John, answer the questions. Interrogation time. And yeah, he and I have a lot of fun. So, okay, did anybody else get surprised by any information from the John Whitberg interview? Guys, remember, he's 25 years old. That's it. He's 25. I literally call him Grandpa. He's literally like a grandpa in my head. He's so freaking old. Because I'm going to be 51 in November. I am not as old as John Whitberg at all. I'm young in an old body. He's old in a young body. It's really bizarre. Yeah, it really is. So Rachel's saying, yes, Cosmic Consciousness Conference in Launceston, is that how you say that? With a land clearing at Cradle Mount. I have it all paid for. I cannot wait. It'll be my first and last conference. So you're going to get to meet Joshua Shapiro in person. That's so cool. That is so awesome. He's going to be talking a lot about his gateway of light, which is like a portal that he's set up to converse with the other side, because his wife Katrina passed away. She's now in angelic form, and I've literally done it, guys. Go to thegatewayoflight.com. You can make a donation and ask 3 questions, right? And then he connects with you on Zoom. He puts the questions into this Gateway of Light portal, and so much information floods back. And I have my names confirmed, and I already knew parts of my names and stuff like that. It was just boom. It was so good. So that's thegatewayoflight.com. Yeah, Dan Guest is saying 25, WTF. Did you think he was older? He's way older than that. You can tell, even if you didn't know. Yeah, John Whitberg is 25 in that body. I know, it's insane, isn't it? It's insane, because just his insane knowledge. And this is what I joke that he's very British. He really is British. I'm not joking. Like, he's an American, right? He's living in America. He was born in America, but internally he is British, right? Because I said to him, you're one of the most British people I know. It's just the words he uses, the way he speaks, he's very, very British. It's insane. Whereas I'm more Americanized, right? Because I literally grew up in the programs in America and in Canada with Drago. So thank you. That's thegatewayoflight.com. That's Joshua Shapiro's channel. Go check that out. You can submit 3 questions via donation. And guys, you get so much good information back through the Gateway of Light. I'm not joking. I'm going to do it again soon because I got so much. This is where I got my name, Alone Ra, confirmed, my Egyptian god self. And she who brings the dawn or something like that. But there was so much information confirmed. Some of it I already knew and it confirmed it, and I didn't give it that information, right? So it's insane. So he can channel through whatever, and I'm Arcturian, and my Arcturian counterpart, Commander Rialta, is also accessible through the Gateway of Light. So me, Joshua Shapiro, and Commander Rialta, we were like a team in Arcturus, and it just blew me away. It really did. So he talks about me as his sister. So I recognized Joshua Shapiro from Atlantis. The first time I saw him on Soma Ara's group, which he does Saturdays and Sundays and Wednesdays, I totally recognized him. It was insane. Okay, back to John Whitberg. Dan Guest says, yes, I know he's older than me and Dan's 42, but you can totally tell that he's my peer. It's weird, and yes, he is so British. I agree. It's right. It's weird, right? I know, because Americans don't get it. I think they don't understand how British John Whitberg is. And this is because Kyle lived and worked in the UK for a long time in like the 1950s. So Kyle and all that, and even earlier than that, they grew up. What was it like growing up with a baby Drago? We were always, well, I've got a few memories. I'm always younger. There's only one memory where I'm older than him, and we were apart for a lot of things, but then we were together for a lot of things. So in one of the memories I have, it wasn't actually Drago, it was Yoshiro, Surabaya. And I'm literally like out of control because they push me to my limits. And then they throw me and him in the same room and they say to him, control her. And he literally just wraps his body around me. I made a visual of this and it's just beautiful. So I'm like this little Japanese girl, Erisu, and he's Yoshiro and he's just protecting me, trying to get me to calm down. Otherwise I would have just blown up the building. So I've got weird random memories like that. But he was always in authority, always. Even when we were teenagers, he was in authority. Yeah. So that's the dynamic that we had. Where did you grow up? So there's versions of me that grew up in the monarchdom in Canada. Yeah, which is like, it's so big, it spans Australia. So that's the Violet Hive, basically. Yeah. That's Toronto. What was it like? Yeah. So I've got random memories coming in, all different ages. The one where I've got where he is younger than me, that's the Jefferson Proving Ground one, the JPG memory. And it's literally nighttime and we are being invaded. Like they're trying to take out the base. They're trying to shut down the base and they wanted to slaughter everybody, basically. And so I'm trying to get me and him from one side of the base to the other because other soldiers are coming in to extract everybody, and the base is on fire. It's like that. So I've got a memory of that. I've got a memory of shielding. We're being shielded, like invisible, and people are coming into the room. It's a really bizarre memory. When you said Japan, an old Japanese cartoon popped into my head, Samurai Pizza Cats. You know, I think I remember that. Will you remind me of that later? Samurai Pizza Cats? Or am I thinking of Top Cat? Dad will know what I'm talking about with Top Cat. I don't know if you guys got Top Cat in America. Was that American, Top Cat? Do you guys remember that? And yeah, so there's versions of me that grew up all over. But the main one I was taken from here to Montauk. Versions were created and I was taken to Monarchdom in Canada. You still got a Top Cat book? Yeah, I love Top Cat. It's so funny. I think you should do an entire show in Australian accent. I'm really sorry, guys, for my weird Aussie accent sometimes. Don't mean to. I know what you're both on about. I love cartoons. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, some high energies coming in now. Don't know if you guys can feel that. We didn't get that much targeting on the show last night, I didn't think, but we did get tons of targeting leading up to the show. And it was funny because John was talking about astral warfare and things coming in, and we literally were like isolating handlers earlier in the day and tracking them back to the UK as well and stuff like that. So yeah, interesting. You named your cat Top Cat. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I keep seeing my cat in spirit. He's here. I keep seeing him a lot, and it was so funny because just put my fan on for a second. I'm getting quite sweaty, but I thought I was alone in the house, and now at the corner of my eye I see something black coming into the room, thinking, oh, it's just my cat in spirit. Then I realized it was my son wearing big black trainers. He'd come home early, and it freaked me out then, because at the corner of my eye I keep seeing a black cat, just a black presence coming in at the corner of my eye right now. Okay, TC, yeah, Top Cat. Dan, that was an interesting question, asking if John Whitberg's going to come to the UK. That was an interesting question. Cannot confirm or deny. Yeah, John Handel went to the UK. It would be great to get John out here to the UK. I'm not sure if that's ever going to be possible, but if it is, I will make that happen. Do whatever I can to make that happen. We will see. But he's got to get out of his current situation first, and that's not easy. That's tricky. So if you can support John Whitberg, do send him a paypal.me/John Whitberg. I keep going to say Anchorhaven. If you send anything to me, I'd send it to him, don't worry. But he's got his own PayPal. I hope he does. I would love to come and meet him in real life. Yeah, I can't wait to meet him one day. One day he'll be traveling and I'll be traveling, and we'll connect up. And sometimes I joke with him and say, like, just let's get an apartment in Argentina where we can all just like randomly meet up in Thailand or Argentina or Mexico. We'll just start traveling and doing conferences around the world. And hello, Angel Tarot by Pramila Jane. How are you? Good to see you. Let us know where in the world you are. He needs to fake a marriage and elope. Well, Flixlove offered to marry him in the chat last night. That was quite funny. Thailand's cheap and close to me, says Matty West. Yeah, I love Thailand. It's my favourite place. I hope to go out there in the next 2 years again. As the portal tech rolls out, it should be a lot easier. Oh my God, can you imagine when we can literally just portal? And I'll say, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. And I'll just turn up in Chicago at Jason's house or whatever. Or I'll just go to Minnesota and meet Wizard Witkiss. Yeah, that would be so cool. Let's do a meetup. We just do like a port key. Like in Harry Potter, we all do a port key and we just have a conference and everybody just arrives. Oh, you're in India. Okay, I used to live in India. I am an OCI. So let me know whereabouts you are. I used to live in Goa. I used to live in South India, in Trivandrum, in Tiruvananthapuram. It was good to see you. Thank you so much for subscribing. So we're just talking about a video that we did last night with the John Whitberg. And so John Whitberg is the subject matter expert when it comes to all things super soldier, secret space programs, special access programs, breakaway colonies, future tech, ancient tech, time travel, portal, stargates, whatever. It's a great interview. It's 2 hours and 42 minutes long, which is the longest video I've ever done with John Whitberg. So do go check out that replay, and guys, watch it a couple of times and take notes, because there's so much good shit in that video. I'm stuck here and now, but I travel far and wide in my sleep, says Dan Guest. Yeah, Big Daddy, you're not going anywhere. You've got loads of like little super soldiers to take care of. So sorry. And or little diplomats. So yeah. So yeah, Pramila, let us know whereabouts you are in India. So I've not lived out there for 10 years, but I lived out there for 10 years. So I really miss it now. I didn't miss it before, but I do miss it now. Yesterday I went to the local shop and I was getting some paneer, and every time I buy paneer, they say to me, you know how to cook paneer? Yeah. Because they're like, we don't cook paneer. What is the obstacles in my carrier? Are you using a translator? Because I'm not too sure what that means. I'm not doing readings just yet, but I will do some readings soon. I did pick some cards, and I picked the gods, goddesses, guardians, so we can see who wants to support us right now. I'm not sure on the translation on that last word there, please. Oh, you're an hour behind on the John Whitberg interview? Yeah. Matt West says, having a physical body I've used on missions in this life is a gift and a curse. I remember I can bilocate and portal other people, but I have to drive and get stuck in traffic. Exactly. So growing up, I always remember being frustrated that I couldn't teleport, that everything was so freaking slow. It really annoyed me. And I've got a memory, one of the first memories was of me holding a time travel crystal. And this is my offshot version of Project Ibis, right? So I remember holding this crystal. I remember the room I was in, so I know what age I was. I'm holding a crystal, and then my room is just full of kaleidoscope colors. And I remember I was portaling. So, but this was like a stabilizer. Yeah, this was a stabilizing crystal. So the portal ability is natural, and it was like a stabilizer or like an anchor, so that I wouldn't just like go off planet or whatever. I talk about that in the video that I did with the ACIO and with Jessica Morocco. So there's 2 videos. The one with me and Jessica Morocco is a one-on-one private session. When she says to me, how can you know where your clones are? Right? And I'm like, because I see through their eyes. And she's like, this is very dangerous, you mustn't do that. And then she recommended me to get the ACIO video done with Peter the Insider. So that's a bit eye-opening. I'm going to rewatch that again soon and see what new information I take from it this time. Because every time you listen back to these things, you're going to pick up on new information because your mind is different. Like my SSP mind is active now, but it wasn't like 18 months ago. It was just starting to formulate. And because a lot of it is like hidden away at the back. And like some of the things I say now, I could not even in my awareness a year ago. Things I was saying on that interview with John last night, like, you know, I'm talking to him about like French SSP, Homdel and me. How do I know these things now? Because, you know, it's training with John Whitberg, basically. Watching his videos, talking to him about things behind the scenes, creating the Oracle card deck with him. Like we like he'd say something and I'd say, well, okay, this is how I'm seeing it. And he's like, yeah. So we worked it all in together. Dan says, I honestly think I'm just here to raise them. I'm blessed to be a father. Yeah, you're a good dad. I think there's a lot more to you than you remember. Okay. So Matt West says, portal tech for public transport will be lit. Yeah, it's like a Futurama cartoon, right? We need to get some like just portals in the streets. Question, Julia. Has anyone in the SSP ever contacted all of you and pieced together all your, as individuals, info on programs and who's who and correlated and matched up sort of as a healing tool? It's very disjointed. I don't believe everybody's connected. When you go to Jessica Morocco's channel, you'll see that there's a lot of familiar faces in those videos. But no, I wouldn't have found Drago if it wasn't for Jessica Morocco. It would have taken me longer to make that connection. Because I'd already started to watch him and stuff like that, and I knew something wasn't right. And I'm like, I can't watch this guy. So it's like, because there was something uncomfortable coming forward. But no, so nobody's ever pieced together the entire piece of the puzzle. John Whitberg will know because he's in a lot of groups and he has been for years. Penny Bradley's in a lot of groups as well. So Penny Bradley might be the one who knows a lot about who connects with who. But not everybody remembers each other because it's like, it's a bit like Michael Koff says, you know, even in Nagruffin, you know, people who are command level stay with command level, people who are this stay with that, and whatever. I was a scientist in a lot of programs, so I'm literally in lab, so I will only know you if you are in my lab or I interacted you with something for the lab. So that was my life. So everybody was compartmentalized off quite a lot as well. So there's like little things like, you know, like Tyler Koala. I'm always going to say it like Koala, right? He put out a book. I've not read his book, but I will do. And then he said he was a scientist in a lab. And as soon as he said that, I could open up a lab memory and say, oh yeah, okay, I see him there. And I see what he was doing as well. So, so sometimes we need to connect with the other people to get those pieces of the puzzle back in. So Riley Newskin, Riley Newskin, when I saw him on Typical Skeptic for the first time, my crown chakra opened and sent information to him, and I got information back from him, right? And then I immediately had to say, I texted John Whitberg and said, I don't know who this guy is, but something's just happened to me. And he said, let's FaceTime him, because he knew New Skin. So we did like this, this three-way and FaceTime. And New Skin's just sitting there like totally stunned. And I was like, dude, I don't know who you are, but I've just received something, and I've got memories of you now. Like, where did this come from? Like, why are you in my head? What has just happened? And then we did some private work together, me and Nuskin, and we're literally connected in Lyra, like 300,000 years ago, right? So in the programs, we were kind of like hit and miss, but I've got memories of him in like a tech store. I'm taking some tech in and saying, you need to repair this technology. I've got memories of him in a chamber in my lab, like a clone. I've got memories. There was another memory. Where was it? He's got memories of me in some big head office building, and I'm like some admin doing like check-in for new starters or something. So yeah, it was really random. So yeah, so nobody's ever pieced together the entire puzzle, but I think they will one day. And don't forget, there's so many people who are not public anymore. Like we were talking about Aaron McCullum yesterday, and I had a massive reaction to watching his videos, huge reaction, and I had to reach out to Ivan Teller and say, what is going on? Because I honestly, and he said, you've just tuned into his level of targeting, and it was immense, right? So he said, that's elite level targeting, and you need to disconnect right now. And then Aaron McCullum was just AWOL for the longest time, and I started to make a playlist for him a couple of months ago, and I found a comment which let me know who he was in the here and now. So I found him, and I reached out to him, and he is not public any longer, right? He is, but he's completely changed the narrative of who he is, and SSP is not in that any longer, right? He's just not mentioned anymore. He's created a new life for himself with a new name and everything, yeah? So there's plenty of people who used to be public, but they're not public anymore because the level of targeting just became too much, that they just had to go underground, yeah? And this is one of the frustrations that John Whitberg has, because there's only 4 people, I think, that he knows that have the same level of memory that he does, and they're not public any longer, right? And they don't want to talk about it anymore. So it's very isolating for John Whitberg when he can't talk about things in the level of detail that he would like to, because he just doesn't have those people around him that have that level of awareness, right? So it's like when we're asking him questions, a lot of the time he's kind of like, I've done tons of videos on those questions, right? So, but he still answers the questions. He's still very respectful, you know, because we're all just coming out. We're all just bringing that into our awareness, and he knows it's important to talk about this stuff. So that's the work that he does. But behind the scenes, he misses being able to talk about such things in great detail, because certain people are no longer public anymore, and it's sad. It's really sad. It's like being the only person left on the planet who knows that much detail or something. In a way, it's like this isolation feeling. I'm thinking about Umbrella Academy, and you know, number 5 in Umbrella Academy, it's the boy who's really ancient because he was isolated in the future in an apocalypse world or whatever. So he's come back to the here and now, and he's like a 150-year-old man or whatever. That's John Whitberg. Right, it is. If you watch Umbrella Academy, you'll know that that's John Whitberg. It is. I'm number 7. I am number 7. It's been confirmed. And Drago's in there as well, but I believe number 5 is John Whitberg. So if you haven't watched Umbrella Academy yet, please do watch that. Okay. Sorry about that. Going off on tangents. You got a nice chunk of amethyst for Felix. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, especially had you in the pod. Full access to any place, anytime. Yeah. Matt Grenning knows a lot. He really made 3 shows, all are worth time. Missing Time says, I haven't found my purpose yet. You do so many cool things though, Jason. You're very talented. I would love to support you in whatever way I can. Okay, Matt West says, last night observations, I was in tungsten armor suit that had a blue outline. It feels like merge version of me with other assets, saving kids. I miss tech sometimes. Now, if you are merge, please do talk to Drago. Please book in with Drago, or just send him a message if you believe you're in the merge. Because merge, there's conflicting information about merge, right? So on one thing, Jessica is saying there's only 12 merge. And then on another video, I remember her saying that there's 60 merge kids, right? So I'm not too sure what feels right to me on that. I feel like merge was a small unit. That's how I feel. That merge was small, so maybe there were different merge groups or whatever. When we talk about the merge, we're talking about the Monarch Umbrella Refugee Group, and that name, I don't think that's the right name, because umbrella isn't umbrella, it's Spencer Biotechnic, and that's what John and I talk about, and that's what we've put in the Breakaway Oracle guidebook as well. So merge, that name, I'm not too sure where that's come from. But I have had a memory of me on Merge Mission that was really clear, because I connected in with her last year. She was in the here and now, and I went into her mind, and she was jumping up that plane. And I talk about it in my basis interview, and I put a graphic there so you guys can see what I was talking about. But that was Merge. So Merge is time missions as well, asset retrieval, artifact retrieval, asset elimination. Yeah, we were pretty dark in the Merge, guys. But there was saving and stuff like that going on, but it wasn't all about saving kids. There was some dirty work there. We did the dirty work. Right, puzzle pieces missing or not healing quickly or expanding. So what's good about, because this is the Mystical Wellness channel, and I do talk a lot about these programs. Michael Koff as well, very similar. He's got a Mystical Wellness channel. He's also talking about the programs. You have got like Chloe Ariel, who's also in the programs, also a healer. Missy Hill, also in the programs we're discovering, also a healer. So there's a few, Christy Campbell, also a healer. So there's a few of us that are coming together. So we've got that super soldier aspect, but primarily in the here and now, we are healers, we are therapists. We're bringing in that side to things as well. So there it has, the narrative has shifted, I think, because the healers are waking up. Right, so whatever we were before, that's absolutely fine, but in the here and now, I'm a crystal healer master therapist, I'm a sound therapist, I'm an access consciousness therapist. Yeah, so I bring in all these different assets, plus I'm a Reiki master teacher and violet flame Reiki and all that kind of stuff, but I bring all of that in to the healing work we're doing. So don't forget Secret Space program and all that, that's the trauma healing journey. When you start to remember, it's brutal, there's nothing good about it. There's nothing good about the Secret Space program, yeah, and that's how I feel. There's nothing good. There's not one memory that I've got when I'm thinking, wow, this is fucking amazing. No, none, zero, right? It's all bad, right? That's how I feel about the SSP. It is all bad. It's all nefarious. That's how I feel, literally. So we're coming in to heal it. We're coming in to heal it. It's the only thing that made sense to me. I know you don't mean any disrespect, yeah. Puzzle pieces missing or not healing quickly or expanding into healing aimlessly, hoping for answers quicker. So we need to remember there is a quickening of energy coming in, but this is trauma healing journey on a multi-dimensional level. I had 24 million clones last year, so that's 24 million trauma versions of me. There's not going to be any quick healing involved in that, Rachel Kyle, right? So Sean Bond and I started to uncreate versions of me, right, that were being used nefariously or being used as food or whatever. We literally had to go back and uncreate them so that I would not be calling in levels of trauma from 24 million versions. It just doesn't make any sense. So we started to uncreate, yeah, to literally destroy them by going back in time to uncreate them before they started. Yeah, so everybody's on their own trauma healing journey, and it is not linear. It's multi-dimensional, interdimensional, and it's not just on this planet, it's everywhere. So when you start to deal with that, it's massive, and we literally need to stop time right now to find those aspects and to start that healing process. So this is long. This is going to be long. There's no quick fix on this. I knew everything was right when I found you, Anchorhaven. Slimy, slimmy, but it is yeah, it's slimy nonsense over here. There's a lot going in circles, Rachel. Yeah, so I'm hoping that so my podcast and John's and Drago Reed's and, you know, everyone else we know who has a healing aspect, we're hoping to bring some clarity to help people make sense of their memories. That's the only way I can say it. If there's anything I do that helps you make sense of my memories, then I'm on the right track. And then I'm not going to be able to heal everybody. You know, we can't save everybody. You've got to save yourself. So nobody's coming to save you. But hopefully hopefully we're giving you some tools, some information. This is why I started that debrief process. So you can go on my Patreon, you can download free information about the debrief process, and that's just basically what I've been doing for the last 18 months. Is something's been coming into my awareness, I've been going into meditation and going deeper into it. I'm seeing what comes forward, I'm connecting with my body, with different aspects of me, and I'm literally expanding into the information to see what makes sense. I'm journaling it out perhaps, or I'm talking it through. I am not judging it in any way, shape or form, but I'm taking it to other people in the community who can help me make sense of it. So for me, that is Sean Bond, Christy Campbell, Soma Arar. You know, there's other people I work with from time to time who can help me make sense, but I do the work myself. This is information that I'm taking to them, right? That might be different to some people, but I'm doing a lot of deep work myself. Last year was absolutely fucking brutal. I'm not joking. Last year for me has been brutal. And I'm about to enter into this new big healing phase. Lionsgate amplifies everything for me. The amount of recall I get through in August was insane last year. The level of detail that came in and memory cascades that flooded in on that Lionsgate period was insane, right? So intention is everything. So can Penny and John, etc., collaborate to get together like a networking healing tool? That's what I'm trying to say. It's already in place, Rachel. There's already loads of networks in place. Misha Johnston's got support groups, and she's been doing that for 20 years. So there is a collaboration. The problem is people just don't really want to talk to each other because it's trauma. So I stopped going to Misha's groups because people were sharing so much trauma. It was overwhelming for me, and I had to take a step back last August. Yeah, I was in Misha's group, and we were just waiting to take our turn, and I thought I was going to talk about, you know, psychotronic warfare targeting that's coming in, and I'm just doodling, and I looked down and I wrote down trauma twin. Like literally an altar had written down trauma twin. And I burst into tears, and what I realized was this time last year was that my trauma twin, and I'm sure we've got many, but the one that I talk about the most, connected the most, is Drago Reed. He's very I can't even talk about it. He's very public about his journey that involves my testimony as well, and he's had a long time to deal with this, whereas last year I'd only had so many months. I got massive recall come in a short space of time last year, and so I went from thinking what's wrong with me, who am I, to oh my god, you're in these programs, this is, and all the pieces started to slot in. But I realized that Drago Reed was going on podcasts talking about me, and he was saying things that he'd never spoken to me personally, right? So he was telling publicly my journey and sharing our shared testimony, but he wouldn't talk to me privately at the time because we were both going through a lot of different healing in our own way. So when I say Drago Reed and I barely talk, we barely talk, right? Because last year we hardly spoke, because literally he's my brother and he can stay in his room and I'll stay in my room. It's like that. But so he was going on podcasts talking about me, and I'd sit there with a notebook, right? Because he couldn't talk to me privately because it was too harrowing, right? So we were very separate for a lot of last year, and it's only when we met in person in December that we literally became friends, right? It was like that. Up until that point, he was a trauma bond, right, that I could barely look at, and he could barely look at me. It was hard because the trauma level was immense, and he remembers all the things that I don't remember. He remembers me as a weapon. So when I connected in with him, he's looking at my messages and he's thinking, that's not Anchorhaven, that's Julia, that's the cover life, she's programmed. So he had to like push it away because he thought she's a threat, right? Potentially a threat, potentially a handler or whatever. So he pushed me to one side, and then he started to do the work and I started to do the work. And as I started to get memories, I'd send him a message, this is what I've got. And then maybe he'd respond or maybe he wouldn't. But the level of heavy trauma healing was huge. So we talked about it on the video we did last week. And we've both done a lot of work in the last year. And I can't remember where I'm going with this now. But yeah, so I stopped going to Penny's group last August, not Penny's, yeah. Misha Johnston's group last August, because I realized that my trauma twin was 10 years ahead of me in his testimony, but in the way that he'd done 10 years more of healing than I'd done. So it was so hard for me to acknowledge he's talking about me publicly and it hurts, right? That's basically what I said. He's sharing my personal information about what we went through, and it's hurting me because I'm not there yet. So I've done a lot of work on this in the last year. So I can talk about these things openly now. But at the time, I had to admit that every time he did a podcast and he mentioned me, it put me into overwhelm, right? And I was having a hard time dealing with it. And but he was doing it publicly because he wanted to bring out that confidence in me, so that I knew he was validating me basically, and he would do that publicly because he couldn't do it privately. So whenever you see Drago Reed do a long post supporting me, saying that I'm his sister, that I'm his dyad super soldier bond, I'm his trauma twin, and he's proud of me and all that, he's doing it publicly because it hurts to do it privately. Right, that's why, because it hurts to talk to each other privately sometimes, because the trauma level is immense, right? Don't forget, we went through breaking process together in Montauk, and Monic Doms and all that. We were literally trained to off each other over and over and over, and that's what I remembered last August. I would just be walking up to him and whipping out knives from behind my back in the stomach, right in the heart, and we'd have to reset and redo that over and over. So yes, there are this is a long-winded way of me saying that there are support groups out there, there are networks out there. I am not in them, some of them. John Whitberg's in loads, Penny's in loads, Sean Bond is in loads. So there are groups there for super soldiers, Milab's military abductees. There are groups out there, there are networks. Loads of people know each other and remember each other. But when you remember somebody and you approach them, it's not always safe for them to connect with you. Yeah, it's, if you think you know your trauma twin, it is not safe for you to approach your trauma twin and say, hi, do you want to be friends? It's not safe, because you are both trauma bonded, you are battle forged. Yeah, it is dangerous to activate your trauma twin, okay? And people who try and have romantic relationships with their trauma twin, just asking for a whole world of trouble. Yeah, I'm fortunate because mine's not a romantic bond, mine's a sibling bond. We're literally siblings, right? So when I see him, it's like, oh, that's my brother. So people say, oh, he's so this and he's so that. I'm just like, are you kidding? That's my brother. That's gross. So that's where me and him are both at, like, no, that's my sister, right? So yeah, so please be careful, guys. If you think you know your trauma twin, if you see them, you've got memories of them and you're about to approach them, just know it might not be safe to do so. I approached a version of somebody that I know from Russian SSP, and they said to me, I do not have capacity. Yes, I was there. I don't have capacity to go into this with you. Right, basically they can't open up those wounds. That's where they're at. One day they will. Hopefully they'll come out to the UK at some point, and then we will be able to sit opposite each other like I did with Drago in December. We sat opposite each other, we had that conversation of yeah, I couldn't talk to you because it hurt too much, right? But I love you and I forgive you, but at the time it hurt too much, right? And then I had to say thank you for not sharing your memories with me, because it would have broken me. Right, at that point in time, it would have broken me. I would have gone into a basket case, right? I wouldn't have been able to cope with it. So Drago protects me from myself. I know it sounds harsh that he doesn't share, he doesn't talk and things like that. He's protecting me from myself, right? And it's true, he is. Because what he remembers about me is not good. So anybody, that's why I said on the show last night, if you think you know me, chances are you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't want to talk to me either, right? So there's 3 or 4 people that I've met and they're literally like, yeah, I can't talk to you, right? And I was like, oh shit. So my greatest fear right now is that John Whitberg will remember me as a different version, as he remembers me as a spy from space, or from an off-planet colony. So he was Heinrich and I was a young female German spy, right? That's the version of me that he knows. Whereas everyone else knows Kyle Del Show, right? They're all about Kyle. Kyle's this and Kyle's that. I don't know Kyle. I know Heinrich, or I know Jonas. Yeah, I know those two. I don't know Kyle. So John and I have a very different relationship because I don't know Kyle Del Show, right? That's not the version I know. So he doesn't know me as the dark prophet. He doesn't know me as like a phoenix. He doesn't know me as the scientist. He knows me as a young spy, right? That's how he knows me. Very different dynamic, and when I discovered that, I was so blessed. I really was. There's somebody who knows me and there's no darkness involved. Oh, he can't even fathom it. He can't see me in that way, and that's why I love him so much, because he doesn't see me as the darkness that everybody else sees me who remembers me from the programs. Okay, sorry, I've gone off on a huge tangent there. Getting closer to having cloaking removed. Okay, yeah. So this all comes back to Sean Bond, who removed my cloaking last February. Up until that point, even though I knew and I had some memories, when I say to a psychic or whatever, am I in the programs? They say no, or maybe MI5, maybe admin, maybe in the cleaner's cupboard or something like that, right? But Sean Bond just opened up my records like, oh, right, you're this, you're that, you're the other. And straight away, that information filtered into my energetic field, and suddenly everybody could see it then. And they couldn't see it before. And then once Drago and I kind of publicly said that, like, we know each other, the amount of information that's come out of psychics in the last 3 months, oh, I see you and I see Drago. And I'm like, hang on, people didn't see that 6 months ago, but they're seeing it now. The information's filtering in, it's unpacking. Rachel says, I'm a fixer. Yeah, Rachel, this is going to be, our roles are really important. So the healers coming into this community are so important. I can't stress that enough, that this is a trauma healing journey that needs healing. But there's a deep level of understanding that we need to fathom, and it's big, it's really big. So if you're dealing with somebody who's been mind fractured 2,000 times, there's 2,000 bodies of trauma there, right? That at some point they're going to start remembering. Dan guesses Joseph is one of those 4, I'm guessing. No, Jason writes too. Don't be pushing people in my direction. I don't know. I've not connected with Joseph Powell, if that's what you're talking about. I just don't. So some people, you see their video and I just can't watch it, and that's how I was with Drago in 2024. I just see it and I'd be like, I can't watch this. And somebody had mentioned, I'm like, why does everyone keep talking about Drago Reed? Like, and then you find out, like, it's Jessica Markey said to me, do you know Drago Reed? And then it's just whoosh, the memories came in. Then it was like, I don't know what it is about Jessica. She's a very powerful psychic. Yeah, I don't know her very well personally or anything like that. I've had a session with her privately and a session with the ACIO privately. That's it. But they're all public information out. I think Jason stopped when Corey threatened to sue him. Yeah, I don't know about Corey good at all. I was also, Jason is number 5, so Whisperworkers. Yeah, I agree. Rachel says, yes, this is also what I'm trying to say, a support system where it's all confidential. Well, that's Misha's groups, yeah? So you can go to Misha's groups, you can talk about things, connect with people over there. There'll be other groups that I'm not aware of. Yeah, Matt West says, I was going to reach out to Amir soon, the Drago, and I know his bust at the moment. I just lose time so fast, yeah. Drago Reed's in Hawaii right now for the conference. Jason, you are living your purpose. Well, Jason needs support. Like we all do, Jason could do with a reset. Merge means the badass me that follows only Drago, the black dragon asset. I broke ranks, lol. Not a good super soldier, said Matty West. No, we were all basically, we deprogrammed ourselves so rapidly that they couldn't keep up. That's why they created the merge program, to put all the non-compliance, basically, gave us a bit more freedom, gave us different missions and stuff like that. I'll shut up now, read the SS pieces, Rachel Carl, blessings guys. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's targeting coming in, hold on. I just got a hit in the heart. Ooh, I just got like a really bad heart murmur. Yeah, Rainbow Flame says, same Jason, I feel you and I have it also hard to believe and everything said to me. I do believe it at the same time. Yeah, so when all this information comes in, you need to just start off with the stuff that resonates, and push everything else to one side. So when I did the ACIO video, that was 2.5 hours long, right? They've edited it down to 90 minutes to take out the pauses, and this is crazy and all that kind of stuff. But if I had to do that again, would I change? No, I don't think I'd change it. I wasn't prepared You see, I'm just white as a sheet. I'm not prepared for the information that came out. But at the same time, there was some that was like, I knew it was true. And there's others that I'm thinking, really? But a lot of it, like 75% of it, I can quite happily say that, yes, I think that information is true. That I've done some work on it. That I've, you know, me and Drago have connected in on it or whatever. And I know that's true. But it's like if you do have an ACIO session with the Advanced Contact Intelligence Organization, ACIO-official, you go to readingsbyariel.com to connect to Jessica Morocco. You can have a look at her channel. What they're doing is they're actually pulling a very deep Akashic record. They're working with an AI technology that we do not have access to. That's there in the ACIO in Pine Gap, basically. So they've got this advanced technology that does a psychokinetic transfer of information from your deepest multi-dimensional Akashic records, right, which link into the computer system at the ACIO that links in psychically into Peter the Insider, right? That information used to be on the website, and it's taken me ages to think, what does that mean? Right? But it's not like he's pulling your physical file, he's seeing your files in his mind, right? And he's watching a video in his head and stuff like that. That's the only way I can understand it. But there was so much stuff that resonated that I can't say that that's not true, because it really resonated. And I've gone on to verify, to vet, to verify, to dig in, and yeah. So you know, Drago's had loads of those sessions, had at least 4 of those sessions, and our information is like, you know, so it's just insane. Okay. Yeah, Rainbow Flame saying, Rachel, you don't have to shut up. You have a kind heart. Yeah, the problem with the SSP community, disclosure, Milab, whatever, it's very disjointed. Yeah, everybody's in little pockets, that's all. So there are resources available, but there's so much trauma that not everybody wants to talk to each other because of that. Yeah, so I've done a lot of videos on my channel. Me and David Purcell did 13 or 14 videos last year, so check out the Galactic support series I did with David Purcell. So me and him were talking things through. Now David and I are connected in Nachtwaffen, but it's a very dark, unstable connection, so we had to stop doing those videos at one point because it just got too fucking weird. It just did. So he remembers a version of me. He remembers being like a controller, a handler, like a father figure. It got fucked up. I'm not joking. The more we got into it, the darker it got, and I had to pull away and say, I don't consent to any more information coming out about that. Thank you. I can't deal with it. No. So I know that version of me is there. I call her Ella. She's a scientist. She has her own labs, right? She's like that, but she is isolated. So like, don't come at me. Don't bother me. your lab grunts, go over there, kind of thing. I'm over here. So it's like, yeah. So he remembers me. At one point, we eased into it, and I thought, this is quite a good life. I feel okay. I feel okay with this information. I know I'm escorted around. Why have I got escorts? Because you're dangerous. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm dangerous? And then I got a memory of somebody just comes towards me and I just rip their throat out, ironically. And I was like, oh, I get it now. Okay, sorry. And it's like, but that's not me, but it is me. Because Nachtwaffen use your physical body, right? So they don't use clones. So it's messed up. So I think of Nachtwaffen as like a mirror universe, like another dimension or something like that over there. So yeah, so it's weird. There's a lot of trauma. There's a lot of dark energy, quickening, trauma healing. So I'm talking about, not saying it's easier to happen overnight, but there are easier ways. No one can heal others. Well, I've started to put my information out there about the debrief process. So it's a personal journey that you're going on. I have trusted people that I work with for my kind of unboxing, shall we say. Drago's got his own team. Some of our team overlap, but that's his thing. I've got my guys that I work with. So everybody will work with people that they're drawn to, and they'll work in their own way. I can only suggest the way that works for me, which I call the debrief process, yeah? Okay. Done the majority of their own trauma and healing. Or honestly, it just keeps coming. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It really is. Because we are maybe thousands of years old. We are time dilated. We are aged and de-aged. We are put into other bodies. Our consciousness is transferred around. There's a version of me born in 1920. There's a version of me from the 1950s that was in a lab in Sedona. Right, so this is why I don't want to go back to Sedona, because there's a massive base there, and I remember being there, working on a science project, working with creating DMT, right, and there's a huge lab disaster. There's a version of me in the 1950s in Liverpool, across the river here, right? At the same time I was in Sedona, I was also in a lab in Liverpool, and another lab disaster. So I'm just some kind of lab wrecking person, I don't know. The best healer knows that everyone heals themselves is suitable for this, says Rainbow Flame Wizard. August is going to be a great month for me, says Wizard Vicus, because the ties to the old house will be cut and all negative energy from the bad neighbour. Great. Rachel Carl says, so when a person seeking answers goes to thousands of people for readings, channeling, it can be hard to ascertain what the truth and what is just someone blowing smoke up you. Connections to higher self and source. Yeah. So I only work with certain people that I resonate with, but I do a lot of work by myself. So I spend, for the last 3 years, a minimum of 1 hour to 5 to 6 hours a day in meditation, right? The last year, because I had that foot surgery, I would be in meditation for hours in the last year, every single day. So it doesn't really matter how long you spend in meditation, but consistency is key. So it's got to be some kind of effort every single day. That's my personal experience. And once you make that connection of prioritizing the meditation time, you'll get deeper and deeper into that 0 point, and you can start bringing forward memories. Yeah. But like you see me and Sean do the live vision quests, and if you watch back, some of them are 2 to 3 hours long, and we spend an hour just preparing my mind, yeah, to get to that back memory vault. The information's all in there, right? Or some of it will be held and we can call it down. Oh my god, it's all starting to make sense, says Wizard Wickus. Yeah, so we're going from like, who am I, why would I be targeted, this doesn't make any sense, to realizing, hold on, you're a key player. What? That doesn't make any sense. Why? Oh. And then you're like, oh, they don't know what you remember? Oh, wow, okay. So it's like you go through different levels of kind of awareness to realizing, shit, I did this all to myself. That's where I'm at right now. I wiped my own mind. Why did I do that? Oh, to protect us? Okay, well, why did I do that? Oh, because you got yourself into this situation. You agreed to this contract. Oh, you were working with the syndicate? What the fuck? Like, so, yeah, so I literally did most of this to myself. So whereas I'm blaming, there's a level to the targeting programs like Tyrab that we've literally created that ourselves. We've put ourselves in those programs. And then we wiped our own mind and put ourselves into a program to protect ourselves from other nefarious beings or other programs or whatever. So some of it is we've literally done it to ourselves. It's fucked up, right? It really is, to protect ourselves. Okay, so it's so important that when anyone says anything to you, you can ask your higher self if it's true or not. Called collectively muscle memory. There are lots of ways of doing it as a practitioner, different ways, yes. So when it comes to SSP, we work with the oversoul. The oversoul sees everything. So I work with my higher self, but I also work with the oversoul, because the oversoul connects into all of my aspects, all of my clones and things like that. So if I come across a version of me that needs healing, I can literally ask the oversoul to sort that out, right? My higher self has memory. I can ask my higher self to show me their memory of a particular situation, and that's how I connected in with a particular person from the Russian SSP, because my limited memory for this version, I'm just sitting at my desk and I can see there's somebody in the room, but I couldn't see their face, right? And then I ask my higher self to show me their memory, please. And then as the higher self, I step into the room and I see me over there, I see this person, and I literally went, oh, hello, I know you. So it's like, so there's different aspects of us to work with. Just like when I do healing, I'll work with my Merlin, I'll work with my Elohim, or I'll work with my Atlantean. So we are many, but we are an oversoul looking down. So sometimes you just have to say, oversoul, deal with that, please, because I'll take that. Can you heal that? Yeah, so we do work with it differently when you're a healer. We look at things differently, don't we? Powerful form of divination, muscle testing, yeah. Rainbow Flame says, thank you for explaining, Rachel. Try to connect with higher self and my source point and my connection to source every day before bed. I think I need to meditate more, but I'll go with the flow, yeah. But Rainbow Flame's doing the Violet Flame Reiki, so we've got some really powerful symbols to work with. transcendental consciousness and stuff like that. So there's a level of perception that I have when I work with those symbols. It takes me into an even deeper level. Rachel says trauma equals trials received activating, ultimately make way anxiety. So I'm all about breaking trauma looping. Yeah. Matthew West says my first experience was memory recall was an Archon, and honestly it's easier than 3D. LOL. You're super strong, Julie. I'm proud of you as a role model with this human crazy journey. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's batshit crazy. I call it SSP weird shit. That's what I call it now, and that's how I affectionately call what we're going through, SSP weird shit. While I know nothing of SSP trauma is trauma, says Rachel. Yeah, basically it all comes back to the same thing, the same abuse, you know, SRA, so SA, betrayal, it's just, you know, unalivings. It all comes back into the core abuses that most people go through, but we do this on an amplified level because you're literally in a mind control program where your mind is fractured, you are traumatized at such a deep level, and your mind's fractured and programmed, and then you've got a cover life. So go to school, 8-year-old Julia, even though you've just been mind fractured 2,000 times, right? But it's okay, you can continue going to school. So that's the back of your head, right? It's fucked up. Matthew West says, I'm still trying to have the ability to speak. You definitely help. Yeah, I never imagined that I would be doing this podcast. More than 4 years ago, I had a session with Sandra Green, and her she is a trance channel, and she brings forward an old gentleman called Morris. I've got 2 videos on my channel, so you can check them out. But the one from 4 years ago, I still had my wellness studio at the time, and he said to me, I see you in a room like a United Nations of planets, and I see you talking about disclosure. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he says, I see you on a Venusian ship. You are a teacher and a healer. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean disclosure? What do you mean ambassador? Right? I had no idea that this is what I'd be doing, and that I would understand that there's versions of me on Mars right now that are literally in the war room on Mars, right? As a diplomat, as a Secretary of State. I had no idea, right? Until now. Tan, create and meditate. Tan, did you see the video we did with John Whitberg yesterday? We're kind of talking about SSP weird shit right now, talking about the trauma healing aspect of the SSP. Rachel's been asking about support networks and things like that, so that's what we've been talking about. But John Whitberg did a fantastic video with us yesterday, so shout out to John. Please support his channel at the John Whitberg. Do you hear the people sing? He's also on Substack. There's a video archive on there, and if you've watched Altered Carbon, you've got to watch Altered Carbon first, then go to Substack and see his review of Altered Carbon. Oh, it's good. It's very good. Now, if you've not watched Altered Carbon, immediately go and find it right now. Just the first series, not the second, just the first series, because the character, Takeshi Kovacs, is John. That's John's Altered Caldel show, right? So go and watch Altered Carbon. I cannot stress that enough. You must watch Altered Carbon. Yeah, we all talk about it. Drago recommends it as well. We all talk about it. That is John. That's based on John, right? On his altar, okay? Dan says, once you've used someone over and over, time and space is needed. Kinds of bonds are powerful and very dangerous. Yeah, so the trauma twin bonds are brutal. They really are. I don't recommend that anybody connects in with their trauma twin. It was a bit different for me and Drago because we were designed to work as what a soldier pair, like to literally function as one mind in a way. So and plus we are not like sexually active trauma twins, which a lot of people have that sexual bond there. We don't have that. We're siblings. We're DNA siblings. We were created as siblings, like it's the same egg kind of thing. So it's very different. But yeah, John Whitberg's always said to me from the very first point I met him, don't connect to trauma twins. And we in the card deck, it talks about dyad bonds, battle bonds. It literally said it's not recommended to connect with your trauma twin because it's just too much. And this in the past has been trauma twins who've tried to have romantic relationships, and it always ends badly, always. Yeah, so people might be thinking, I'm going to break the pattern. No, you're not. It's too much trauma. It's too harrowing. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay. Yeah, very powerful bonds. And look what's been happening with the breeder program bonds. Yeah, look what's been happening with that. People are getting love bites based on the breeder program bonds and going to the person here and now saying, you're my spouse. We've got children together, another realm of existence. Know me, be my friend, be my partner. And the other person's like, what are you talking about? I've got no memory. Yeah, so you've got to be really, really careful when you approach other people because you've got a memory of that person. So is there anybody I've got a memory of? No. Don't think so. I've kind of reached out to everybody that I remember, and there's 2 people that won't talk to me. There's one person that did FaceTime me and then tell me things that I can't talk to them now because it was just too upsetting. But they forgave me and I forgave them. So forgiveness is key. You've got to share the love and forgiveness. You've got to. Otherwise, you cannot move forward. There's too much trauma. And we were programmed as children. Yeah, this is not something we did consciously. We did not choose to do those things. It was engineered that we did those things. We did not have say in what we did. Okay, so whether we kind of agree that we are those people, that we did those things or not, it was forced upon you. You were an asset. Yeah, like the Winter Soldier in the movie, they say the phrase and it brings forward a personality that's just a non-stop Terminator, right? So we had that kind of thing. Some people I can no longer watch, says Rachel Kyle. I agree. So I go through phases of people I can resonate with and people I can't. And that's very natural and normal. So it's nothing to do with that person or their content. There's a level of trauma there that maybe is coming forward when you see that person or hear their content. Yeah. So trust what your body is telling you. Trust what your mind is telling you. If you need to take a step back, then do it. So there'll be times when people think, oh, I can't listen to Anchorhaven anymore. I just can't do it. And I love you guys. And I know that when people, so as a mystical wellness guide, people come to me for particular things. I am a way station. The stuff I say will not always resonate with you. You will literally come and it will activate something and then you will pass on and go to the next person, yeah? And that's the kind of work I do. So I get people who are either waking up to their, what's happened to my life. I used to love to do this and now my life is a mess and I've stopped doing the things I love. Who am I? I get those people, or I get people who are newly awakened to, oh my God, something's just happened to me. I've had a Kundalini awakening, or I've just got this thing in and I don't know who I am anymore. I get those kind of people. But then we'll do some work together and then they'll pass on to the next person. And that's a natural progression. And I encourage it. So if you think about, oh, I want to watch your videos, but they're not really resonating, I still love you, okay? It's a natural progression that you will go and find the next person that resonates with you, yeah? So, like, for the longest time, I couldn't watch Penny Bradley. Basically, because she looks like me, it freaks me out, right? And she talks very slowly, and I'm very rapid, so I have to speed her up. But at the moment, I'm starting to think, oh, there's a video of Penny Bradley and Dolly Indigo Star, and I want to watch that. I want to watch it. So I started to listen to that yesterday, and I think I'm moving into my Penny Bradley era, whereas I've never spoken to her privately apart from like a basis thing about PowerPoints or Zooms or whatever. But I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm ready now. Maybe I'm ready to talk to Penny Bradley. I don't know. No, I'm not ready, but I'm going to watch her content. some of it, but I still need to speed it up and things like that. Yeah. So don't worry if you're thinking this resonates and that doesn't. Yes, Julia, 2,000 selves to integrate and heal. That's why I speak of integrating. The other selves, alters, clones, and narratives you guys use. Yeah. So sometimes we don't integrate. Sometimes it's not healthy, and that's when the oversoul needs to get involved. Felicity Phoenix saying, what a great episode of John Whitberg. Yay! Aussie Jake! I'm so behind in the chat. I'm so sorry. Stop bong time. G'day, you absolute legend. How are you? Aussie Jake, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for popping in. I know you never stay very long, so I hope you haven't already gone. I love you, Aussie Jake. I love my Aussies right now. And we're talking about the video I did yesterday with John Whitberg. It was so good. So 420, guys, if you're into the 420 scene, Jason Missing Time 420 is an expert in that. Okay, personally 3D, Rachel, worries when and what I say in these groups as I do not wish to come across as flippant. No, you know, everything has an impact, so don't worry. Aussie Jake, your favourite Australian is here. Yay! Although Matty West is pretty cool at the moment. I've got Spider Bite as well. But Aussie Jake, I love to see you because you don't come in for very long and you're literally just like, I'm here. Yay, good vibes. And then you're gone. Rachel, I also feel I trigger you, Julia. Yes, you do trigger me, Rachel. You do. Especially because you are the one doing the podcast. Sometimes innocent questions I ask in general, I often see your energy change. Yes, you do trigger me, Rachel. But you know, it's all healing, isn't it? It's all healing. And if I didn't think it was important, I wouldn't read it out. Rachel, you can't help how someone else reacts to your questions, especially if you're coming from a place of innocent query where no malice is intended, because how can you tell what will and not? Exactly. Okay. One of the reasons I eventually want to get a sensory deprivation tank is that I love those deep inner dives you can do, says Wizard Witkiss. Yes. Kastori, hi. One message from universe if possible. Well, today we're actually talking about the Secret Space program and the stuff that we did on the video last night with John Whitberg. So we're just doing a recap on that video. We're talking about trauma healing from the SSP. Meditate to anchor in haven. So Rachel's thanking the Phoenix here. I know you're right, but a word of denial that negates the previous words. Ha ha. When you work with 300 people a week, trauma cutting loops, it can be a tad overwhelming. Yeah. Overwhelming, hence why I keep banging on about protection protocols. Yep. Okay, let me just catch up on the chat here. Okay, catching up. You'll dig it or your money back. Don't know what I'm missing here. Okay, Rachel Carl, I did enjoy Orphan Black, Julia. Love you, Julia, and hope your oversoul knows I'm coming from an equal place of trauma and knowing it. Yep, Rachel, don't worry. Okay. Yeah, Orphan Black, there's a few TV shows and movies that are based on people from the space program and from the special access programs. And the reason they're literally taking our testimony and they're working it into these TV shows as soft disclosure. Yeah, so some things you watch it and it's activating. So Altered Carbon must be watched. Just like John's books must be read. Okay, if you're into SSP and all that, please just do it now. John will support you. I will support you if I can. But yeah, John is there. Nathan Wayswitch Fox, good morning, Nathan. How did you like the video with John yesterday, Nathan? You had some good questions, pal. Words, swords. Oh, interesting. Muscle memory techniques. Okay, I think I'm caught up now. Heartbreaking point of view. Yeah, it is hard sometimes, Rachel Carl. Because I am not a stable person. I never make out that I'm a stable person. I am not stable. Anybody who knows me privately will know that I am not stable at times, and I'm very childlike, and we know why now, because we know there's that 7-year-old version of me that's in my head. That's Kit Kat. She's my survival altar. So when I feel threatened or whatever, Kit Kat will come out and I will just revert back into a 7-year-old perspective on things, I guess. But sometimes, you know, I mean, John is a very old soul. He's a very old person stuck in a young person's body, and I'm more of a younger ancient soul stuck in an old person's body. So it can be very tricky at times, but John is a fantastic resource and we're really lucky to have him. I will support him as much as I possibly can. I do, because he supports me a lot, so I do publicity for his channel, and as much as I can. Publicity is something that I try and offer. Anybody who does videos on my channel, I will try and help you with graphics or bio or you know, like how to do things. In the last 18 months I've been through a lot, and I've had to figure out how to do the podcasting and all that. So it's not easy when you're starting out, but I will try and help people if I can. Rachel Carl, thank you for your honesty, Julia. I appreciate that. Have you asked your oversoul why I trigger you so badly, especially when I am not part of the SSP? Should I remind you of your mum by any chance? Okay, Rachel Carl, stop right there. Woo, stop right there. Don't be digging. Okay. Missing Time says I'm not SSP either, Rachel. However, Missing Time 420 looks very much like Riley Newskin. Have you guys noticed that? It's really weird that whenever Nuskin is on, we start to question, is that Jason? They look very similar. They do. Yeah. Rachel, I'm not going to go any more into trauma healing. Thank you. Let's leave it there. Yeah. Okay, guys. Right, so if anyone's got any comments about the John Whitberg show we did last night, pop them in now, because we're going to move on. I'm going to pull some collective energy cards and see what's going on with the gods, goddesses, and guardians. Joe, I watched last night. Great questions and answers. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I wish we could... I wish I could expand my awareness faster so that I can talk to John in more detail. Do you know what I mean? Because I have leveled up a lot, and he said to me last year, it's just really not fair on you how much you've had to integrate in such a short space of time, whereas he's grown up with it. From age 6, he had a lot come in, he couldn't process it, so he repressed it. Age 19, it started to flood back in. So from 19 to 25, he's been actively processing recall every day and doing the healing on that. Whereas me, it's like, bam, here you go, wake up now. You know, it's been like that. So, yeah. So, but yeah, so we are coming forward at this point in time for a reason. There's a lot of healers activating who are also part of the programs. So there's quite a few of us healers that are getting together right now. So you'll see me working with Jane Celia Hatch, who's a shaman. Gina Virginia Casella is also shamanic practices. We've got Christy Campbell, Reiki. Missy Hill is a grid worker. We've got Michael Koff. You know, we all start to come together. We're forming this little healing network, I guess. You don't need to apologize, Rachel. It's absolutely fine. Every day is a trauma healing day for me. Particularly delicate at the moment because I'm moving into Lionsgate energy, which amplifies everything. And because I had a massive altar integration the other day with one from a battle of New Nuremberg. New Munich? New Nuremberg. I'm not too sure. I can't remember now. But it was bad. It was really bad. Okay, let me just have a look at collective energies, please. So, what's going on in our collective right now? What are we doing well? What are we being supported with? And general guidance as we move forward with ease and grace. So, we're working with the Guardian cards this morning to see who would like to support us. Oh, interesting. 2 cards are facing me, balance and share your gift, and 2 cards are facing out. So as a collective energy, what we're doing well right now is balance. We've got Mara and Lisa coming in. This is that balance of masculine, feminine energies. So as a collective, even though there's a lot going on, we are starting to balance out on the planet. Yeah, so the level of people waking up is starting to rise for sure. There's less sheeple, more people coming into the awareness. Yeah, and part of that is because of the government. They're bringing out those disclosure drops and everything, so we've got balance coming in. We're being praised for that. What we're being supported with right now with our guides and guardians is magic and grounding. So we've got the horse energy there, which is that kind of stable, grounded 4 legs energy. So we've got Epona coming in saying earth magic. So we are being supported by connecting to the earth, and I cannot stress this enough. Crystals, meditation, Mother Earth is the key. It really is the key. You will activate faster, you will remember faster, you will heal faster, working with crystals, meditation, and Mother Earth energies. You will. Full stop. It's like finding yourself a tree that wants to support you, super important. Yeah, so we have got Epona, so it's a beautiful goddess to work with, representing Mother Earth energies of being supported. Now guidance as we come forward, there's twofold. We've got Ra energy coming in, so we've got the energy of the sun saying share your gift. Right, if you're watching this podcast, then you are awake, aware and conscious to some degree, And it is important for you to start sharing your gift, your knowledge, your energy with your community. Okay. In old days, Atlantean times or whenever, we would be priestesses. Our temples would be the heart of the community, and people would come to the temple for everything. We would support the community that way. We were literally the central hub. No matter what it was, you'd be going to the temple every day. Yeah. So it's important that we share our gift, and we do that with light. We do that with love. So sun is our technology, crystals, laughter, love, compassion, that's our technology. Okay, so this is the message, share your gift. However, Lilith is coming in saying, face your shadow. Okay, this time of year is my shadow healing season, and I call it Anchored in Shadow Strength. And you know, when I did the presentation at Bases and the presentation at Summer Days, that was the name of my presentation, Anchored in Shadow Strength. So that is the work that I do. I help people face their shadow, their diamonds in the dark, but I do that in the light. So I can embody dark goddess energy, but I don't want to walk into a cave with a dark goddess. I want to walk into a cave with a beautiful light goddess, shining golden light, helping me see the reflection, the bounces on those diamonds in the dark. Yeah, so there's time and place for the dark goddess energy, and you might resonate with that, but that's not how I do my shadow healing. I take in Guan Yin, I take in White Tara, I take in Grandmother Spider Woman, I bring in Buffalo Calf Woman, I bring in native guides and things like that as well to do that shadow healing work with me, and that's how I teach shadow. So yeah, take care. Okay, bye Rachel. Approach the Lion's Gate. I joined one of those, endeavour to build your bridges in prep for this time. Yeah, so lots of love. Is 888. There's lots of love coming from Rachel there. So face your shadow. So we are entering into a shadow healing season. This is basically about connecting with your body. What is your body and your emotion trying to tell you? That's how I do shadow work. So you may be feeling that there is emotions ready to be expressed. We don't always need to revisit trauma. We don't always need to go into it that way. But if that's the way you like to do it, make sure you're doing it with somebody that makes you feel safe and grounded. Sometimes we just need to shine a light on these things, and you hear me say this all the time because that's how I've been trained. And so we just kind of shine a light on it and say, okay, I see you, grief. I know you're there. I honor you. I honor what you're bringing forward, and I'm going to lift and release you from the body on my breath. So I do work a lot with breath work when I do the shadow work. Now you could do your shadow work by journaling. You might just want to sit in reflection and do your shadow. You might want to go for a mindful walk in a forest or a park to do your shadow reflection work. It does not always need to be you going back into a trauma and looking at it and doing it that way. It could just be, okay, where am I right now? What's coming up for me right now? Yeah, need to order a new flashlight. It's missing time 420. Yeah, so I work in the light. I work with flame energies that light up the darkness. That's how I do shadow work. So the way I work might not be for everybody, but if you're in my wellness groups, Monday, Wednesday, Saturdays, I do have groups for my members on Zoom. Monday nights is just about it for experiences now. We've shifted it to 11 o'clock UK, 6 o'clock Eastern, so we can talk about this weird stuff, whereas my UK ladies are not really into the SSP and stuff like that, so they want to do more breath work or cards or meditation. So Mondays are primarily for us to get into the weird SSP, talk about our weird experiences, abductions, ETs, that kind of thing. Wednesday's Awakened Wednesday, and I've got Akashic Records Saturday. So on the Wednesday and Saturday, we're going to start bringing in more kind of physical healing and emotional healing now as we move through the Lion's Gate, because it's the most amplified time to do as much work as we can, as fast as we can, in the most grounded healing way possible. Right? So, okay. So these are the guardians coming in. So earth magic, this is really important. Connecting to the elements around you. Okay, go for a walk outside, breathe the air, and ask the air, what would you like to teach me today? Right, what would you like to bring into my awareness today? Because when air, this oxygen we're breathing is literally consciousness. That's what we're breathing, is consciousness. So what would the air like to share with you today? What consciousness would like to unfold within today? Okay, I see Nathan first. I'm going to do Nathan. Okay, so we're just working with general gods, goddess, guardians today, because we need some positive healing energy. Jason, you ordered another new weird device thingy. Jason, is that the best investment? I trust you. Sorry, I'm being a bit judgy. I'm very judgmental at the moment. Oh my word. I have to call myself out all the time right now. I'm so judgmental because I keep getting red flags on things. And especially when it comes to safety, I'm just like, oh my god. It's like my security sensors are really active right now. Okay, this is for Nathan Wastage Fox. We'll just see what's coming up for Nathan right now. What is his primary focus? Let's just pull one card for primary focus. What should Nathan be focusing on? It's actually 2 cards. Okay, we've got 2 cards for Nathan. Who would like to work with him today? Interesting. This one guy would like to work with me also. It's facing my direction. So you've got two cards coming in for Nathan. You've got Hod, the Norse god Hod. Tell your truth. So he's coming in to help you with your expression. This is the god you should be working with for your voice work, your ear, nose, throat, your meditation work. He's going to help you ground it in truth. Yeah, so maybe even see things that you've been missing. So he is blind. He's the brother of Loki as well, I think. So tell the truth. So whatever you're doing now, whatever you're faced with, just make sure it's grounded in your truth and integrity. That's really important. This is for Nathan. You've also got the goddess Hecate coming forward. So there's past life healing coming in for you. Past life healing. So if you're feeling like there's trials and tribulations, some of it is going to be from the past. Again, there's a symbol on the throat that I'm drawn to. Yeah, so there's things coming up from the past. Just be mindful of the words you think, the words you say. I'm also drawn here to what looks like rose quartz beads around her arm. So there's definitely compassion. Be kind to yourself at the moment, Nathan. Yeah, we've got that blue flame of truth here as well. So Nathan, it's focusing on your throat. Yeah, getting that into balance. And just observing, I think, observing before you actually start like expressing yourself. So but when you do, make sure it's grounded in truth. Don't be putting up with any nonsense. It feels like there's some nonsense around you. Okay, expert mode. You totally have to take that deal. Okay, cool. Okay, if anyone else would like a card, please pop it in the chat. I'm not going to be going on for too much longer now. I could do a couple of reads if anybody would like a card, and we'll do some fast readings. So I'm a rapid reader. I connect to your energy very temporarily. My guides ensure that we're disconnected afterwards. As soon as I start to shuffle for you and ask the questions in my mind, my energy opens up. My guide team steps forward and does the reading, and then they step back afterwards. So yeah, so I don't always remember what I've said because it's not my message. So if anybody wants a card, pop a message in right now. Nathan, it's linked into YNK, Yuzuru no Kunshu, because integrity is on the sheet there. Legacy Mastery, but I'm drawn to integrity. So you might have some YNK connections that are coming forward from one of your other lives. Okay, so nobody wants a reading, so I'm going to finish off. We've been going for 120 minutes. I thought I'm only going to come up for an hour. I'm only going to come for an hour. Okay, Joe is the last reading. Okay. Too late, guys. You're too slow. Sorry. This is for Jojo. Two of the same cards have just come back out. We've got Epona coming in, Earth Magic, and we've got Hecate, Past Life Healing. That's really interesting, Joe. I'm just going to get you an affirmation from Epona, because we've already mentioned her. So let's see. So Epona, I now receive sacred medicine from nature. I support Earth's healing process. Yeah, so taking action on ideas for helping the environment, getting closer to nature, visiting somebody connected to Earth. Yeah, that kind of thing. Hecate, let's just get her mantra. Hecate. Here we go. Hecate, I pour all my fears of being visible into your cauldron of light. It's safe to speak and reveal my truth. Okay, so even she's talking about truth, Nathan. You had 2 cards based on truth, Nathan. That's really interesting. But I do think there's a YNK connection as well. I'm just going to clip that. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will be back on later tonight, Wednesday. I've got Bob Osborne from Rebel Not Taken. Bob Osborne is a bit of a celebrity here in the UK, so we're going to be asking him about what he knows about the Food Agenda, about the BBC, about dark stuff, about MK Ultra, his connection to James Casbolt and things like that. So we're not going to go too much into the James Casbolt, but he is the only person that James Casbolt basically talks to now. So yeah, so I've got to mention it. Okay, so I'll be back on later on. Take care, everybody. Please do go watch that video that we did last night. It's on my live tab, but I will, the video should have processed now, so I'll upload the side-by-side view as well. Please, guys, please comment on the videos as much as you can. And also go to John Whitberg's channel. Check out his videos over there. He's writing book 5, and this is really important. Like, he shared a little bit of book 5 with me, and I had a massive, massive activation. Massive. Right, this is how important this stuff is. Please go and read his books or listen to his books. Check his channel for information. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye bye.